Okay, aloha. Welcome, everybody. So happy to be doing this live stream today. It is the 16th day of June in 2022, and today is the Wisdom of the Tao Bei, and this is session number 16. What chapter? Somewhere between 8 and 9. It goes up to chapter number 8, and then all of a sudden it becomes 9, 10, and 11, which I think there's only 11 or 12 chapters. They take the other half of the book. So we're in session number 16, and for those of you that are not familiar with who I am, my name is Paul Fletcher. I'm one of the center leaders at Dow Center Portland, and I'm one of the center leaders at Master Sha's Dow Center Portland. Master Sha is actually the author of this amazing book that I am doing incremental wisdom and teachings on. It's called Dow Calligraphy, How to Heal and Rejuvenate Your Back. And as has been shared many times before, the wisdom in this book covers far more than just healing the back. In fact, the space and the place that we're at right now in this section number 16, is we're talking about the 10 Da, which are the 10 greatest qualities that we can bring into our lives to help transform the physical pain, the emotional suffering, the mental imbalances that we can all experience as well. And these 10 great qualities are very pertinent and relevant to us getting happier and healthier. So today we're going to go more into that. If you're new and if you stumbled across this, maybe missed some of the previous earlier teachings, there are two places you can find this at, because this has gone live on both Facebook and on YouTube. So Dow Center Portland has a YouTube account. You're welcome to join that. And then we also have our Facebook account, which is what you're watching on. Most of you are watching on live right now. And Facebook, you may or may not know, actually has an area where they store this information, this wisdom, if you will. One thing I'm going to do while I'm chatting with you is I'm going to go ahead and pull up our Dow Center Portland YouTube, so I can drop that link in here, and then you can find us. And if you're not already a person who is like Dow Center Portland's YouTube, then you can join it now. So I've dropped that link into the chat, and you can click on that, and that way you'll know when we have any videos, things like that come out on Dow Center Portland. So I want to say thank you. Welcome for coming. Make sure you tell me you're here. I love to acknowledge everybody that's showing up. And of course, we want to spread this far and wide to as many people as possible. So make sure you click on the share button so other people know about today's live stream. And so as indicated, this is the section 16. And in the first couple chapters, I'm going to give you a little highlight. Again, partly because I'm waiting for a few more people to join, and partly because you never know when that new person is stepping in. So the first chapter is the universal law of Shen Qi Jing, a soul over matter information system. And, this book is how to heal using, in essence, Tao calligraphy. And for people that are new, they don't really know what that means. Tao calligraphy, what is that? What is Tao and what is calligraphy? And this chapter explains to you not only what is that, but how does the Shen Qi Jing aspect of it work? And the simple version, the less than 60-second version, is everyone and everything is made up of soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter. Most of us operate on the matter level: financial problems, health issues, whatever it might be, matter. The energy level is where people try to transform that with like traditional Chinese medicine, or they work really, really hard to try to offset a financial condition. That's the energy level. The mind level is mind over matter. Most people are familiar with that, but it only works so much. And what's above that is the heart and the soul. So Shen Qi Jing is this much wider girth of understanding that there are 5 layers of creation. And most of us play in the first 3: mind, body, mind, energy, and matter. But when you understand the heart and the soul are actually the bosses of these other 3, and you can start transforming a lot of things in your life. And that's what this first chapter is about. The second one is how Tao science explains Shen Qi Jing, because there are many out there that want to be able to understand the nature of spirituality and the soul and the nature of this universe, but they want to understand it in a very methodologically manner. And so Tao science uses the messages of information, energy, and matter to explain the nature of the spiritual experience and how we can transform our blockages. It even goes on explaining soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter from a Tao science perspective. That's chapter 2. Chapter 3, why do people have challenges in their health, relationship, and finances? Well, I just gave you the short version. Everyone has these soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter blockages. And when we actually start to look at it from not just the mind, energy, matter, when we start to look at it from the heart and the soul level, we can instantly identify the root cause. And this is really where the rubber hits the road when it comes to this form of healing known as Tao healing, and why this Tao calligraphy can effectively help to transform those kinds of identified blockages. The next chapter, chapter 4, talks about the field, both positive and negative fields, and transforming those positive and negative fields, utilizing the Tao wisdom. And by utilizing the Tao wisdom, Dr. and Master Sha and Dr. Rilin Shu, the physicist, they basically are able to acknowledge that the human body has a predetermined field, both positive and negative frequency and vibration radiate from us at all times. And the positive frequencies and vibrations came to us because of our thoughts, our words, and our actions that brought benefit to ourselves and others. And the negative information that's in our vibrational field came to us from our negative thoughts, words, and actions. Those then bring forth an external manifestation in the form of health or financial or emotional issues or whatever it might be. And so in other words, there's a cause and effect, and it is explained in those first 5 chapters. Now that foundation has been set in chapter 6, Master Sha goes into explaining what is Chinese calligraphy. In chapter 7, what is Tao calligraphy? And chapter 8, Tao calligraphy transforming and embodying all life. So I'm in chapter 8 right now, and he speaks about the nature or origin of Tao calligraphy and calligraphy in general, and then explains with the deeper understanding of all things evolving around soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter, that being the precursor to your both positive and negative experiences. He goes on to explain how Tao calligraphy becomes a very big factor in the transformation and healing of those blockages. And so in this last couple of sessions, in the same chapter 8, we've been going through what's called the 10 Da, bringing everybody up to speed. And I'm going to pause for a minute. Welcome, Anthea. Welcome, Risto. Thank you for coming. Those who have not said hi, please pop in, say hi. So happy to be here. I want to acknowledge you. I want to give you my love. Also, click the share button if you haven't done so already. Let others know about this live stream. And so the last couple of sessions, I went into what's called the 10 Da. And one might say, well, this book is about Tao calligraphy and healing the back. What do the 10 greatest qualities of life have to do with healing my back? It's a fair question. And the root answer is that whenever we have a misalignment with the original source that we emanate from, that misalignment is almost always because of a negative thought, word, or action done against ourselves or another. And when we incorporate positive thoughts, words, and actions by incorporating these 10 great qualities, then we can basically turn off the faucet of the negativity. So these qualities include love, forgiveness, compassion, and light. And then last week we covered humility. This week we're going to cover harmony and possibly flourishing. And the final 5 are harmony, flourishing, gratitude, service, and enlightenment. So these qualities are very, very important to employ in our life, because as we become more conscious and aware of these qualities, we can cause the consistency of negative information that's not those 10 qualities to dissipate and to disappear. So this is why he's placing them there. Also, today I'll be doing a practice with one of those source calligraphies related to one of those 10 qualities. All right, so now that everybody's up to speed, I will now go into where we left off last week. Welcome also, Andrea. Anyone who hasn't said hi, make sure you click on the chat and say hi. Love to acknowledge you. And so let me change the page here, make sure we're on the right page. And let's check this out. Okay, here we go. So to to touch back into last week momentarily, we did teachings on the greatest humility. And the greatest humility is the fifth of these qualities, Wu Da Qian Bei, and Ro Ro Bu Sheng. That translates to gentle, soft, weak. Do not fight, do not strive, do not argue. Be calm, be gentle, disallow any negative information to enter your vibrational field. Be humble. The great servant for humanity, Jesus, would say, turn the other cheek. The next line is Qi Shu Jing Jin, which translates to continue to move forward vigorously, with vigor. Die Wan Jiang, lose humility, fall infinitely deep. This is very, very important, because in the completion of that statement, what he's saying is, when we react, we respond, we're in anger, we're out of balance, we are operating from our self-defense mechanisms, ego, we're basically allowing our heart to be disturbed. We're allowing our entire Shen Qi Jing, our soul, heart, mind, energy, and matter, to be disturbed. And the reason why these 10 qualities are being spoken of in this book is he's saying, be a guardian of your heart, become humble, do not take anything personally. This is your opportunity to transform your life and be a happier, healthier person. You know, just a little while ago, about, I don't know, 15 minutes ago, no, it's been longer than that. It's been about an hour and a half. Feels like 15 minutes. You know, my spouse was showing me a negative face, right? And it was because of something that I had did earlier. I had an auto response. I had a non-humble response. And this is the nature of our human life. We can get caught up in things. It doesn't matter. In my case, I'm busy, I'm doing this, I only have minimal time, blah, blah, blah. I can validate all I want that my lack of loving, compassionate response was okay because I had A, B, C, D, E, F, G going on. But that's nothing more than a validation. It doesn't change the fact that I could have responded with much more love and compassion, both two of the 10 Da qualities, right? And had I done so, then the negative information that I put out would not have been put out. Therefore, it would not have went in her vibrational field. And then it wouldn't be bothering me an hour and a half later. You know, I went in and apologized, of course, but I had to come off my self-righteousness. You know, well, I had this and this and this going on, so it's okay to do that, right? She shouldn't respond that way. But that's putting the blame outside of me, isn't it? So this is how we learn. This is how we apply these 10 Da qualities. We take a look at where we are making mistakes. We don't go into defensive posture. We look at last week's teachings in Da Qian Bei, the greatest humility, and we say, you know, I need to do better. I could have done better. I need to be more responsible. When I am busy and active and I have 10 things going on, I still need to be in a space where, regardless of the speed I'm moving at, that I treat others with respect. And this is my lesson, my teaching. I have to have that self-talk. Talking to you out loud helps me go deeper on it. So this is an example of being human. This is an example of how we incorporate these qualities in our life. Okay. Welcome, Pantha. Welcome, Arlene. Welcome, everyone. So happy to see you here, Andrea. And if you haven't said hi, make sure you do so. Love to say hi to you. So now I'm going to come back to this and we're going to move forward from here. Okay. So in one sentence, Da Qian Bei, the greatest humility, prevents and heals ego in every aspect of life. Let's move now into the teachings for today. Da He She. This is the sixth of the 10 Das, and it equals greatest harmony. It is the secret to success. And Master Sha goes on to say, when he received these 4 sacred phrases for Da He She, the greatest harmony, they are Liu Da He She, San Ren Tong Xin, Qi Li Duan Jian, Cheng Gong Ni Zhuo, Lu Da He She. The sixth of the 10 Da greatest qualities is the greatest harmony. This is Lu Da He She. That means the sixth of the 10 Da greatest qualities is the greatest harmony. San Ren Tong Shen. San means three. So San Ren Tong Shen translates to three people who join hearts together. San Ren, Ren is human. So three humans, Tong Shen is joined together. Who join, Shen is hearts. So Tong Shen, three people who join their hearts together. Qi Li Duan Jin is the third line. Their strength is like a sharp sword that can cut through gold. So this is important. I'm going to pause here a moment. You know, many of us, including myself, we try to do things on our own, right? But the deeper wisdom is gather three people. You can accomplish so much more with three people. There's three different ways of thinking. You can bounce the ideas off of each other. It opens up a whole new field of possibility. I've seen that here locally at our center when Portia joined Rulen and my team. And it's allowed us to have diversive processes. We've tried to set up teams of three with the different groups that assist us at the center. There's three different team levels. One does marketing, another one helps out with carrying the message, and another one helps out with other functions. We tried to set up with three team leads there as well. What's the wisdom? Where three work, it's like a sword that can cut through gold. Okay, and this is ancient wisdom, but it's also very relevant wisdom. The next line, Cheng Gong Mi Zhou, the secret to success. Okay, so what is the secret to success? Working in harmony with three or more people working in harmony. So I'll go on to read now this chapter. So three major philosophies and teachings are at the core of Chinese culture. This is all Chinese culture. These three philosophies are at the core: Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. Now, I also want you to notice he didn't say three religions. He didn't say three belief systems. That's a Western perspective on things. These are actually philosophies. And there's a significant difference between a philosophy and a belief system. But in the West, we like to pigeonhole beliefs like, oh, you're Buddhist, or oh, you're Taoist, or oh, you're whatever-ist, okay? Christian-ist, whatever it might be. We love to pigeonhole so that we can make ours better than theirs. But this is all separative thinking. So these philosophies that are in the Eastern traditions, yes, there has been belief systems formed around them, but when they were originated by ancient saints and sages and people that actually contemplated and connected and meditated with the source. And these are the wisdoms that they shared. So let's go back now with that as a little deeper understanding. So these three major philosophies and teachings are at the core of the Chinese culture: Taoism, Buddhism, and Confucianism. For example, the theory of traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, you go to acupuncturist, these traditional theories actually come from Tao teachings. He Xie, which means harmony, is a key teaching in Taoism, Buddhism, Confucianism, and traditional Chinese medicine. Isn't that interesting? For example, a human being has a liver, a heart, a spleen, lungs, kidneys, brain, and various other organs. Harmony between each one of these to each other is a key for health. I'm going to pause a moment again. You may or may not be familiar with what's called the 5 elements. First time I heard about it was when Master Sha teaching about it. He does touch on it in this book a little bit. And the small version, the very, 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 very small version, is that they nurture each other. So, for example, the liver nourishes the heart nourishes the spleen nourishes the lungs, and the lung nourishes the kidneys, and the kidneys nourish the liver. Okay, and so these 5 elements: wood nourishes fire, because fire can't burn without wood, right? Fire breaks things down, nourishes Mother Earth. Earth is the next element. Earth then is the creator of the metals, the lung element. Metals then can be formed to carry can be formed to carry things like a water pail to carry water, which is the next element. Water feeds and nourishes the wood. And so this is the very, very beginning of traditional Chinese medicine wisdom. Why am I telling you this? Because we're talking about harmony. If you had a heart problem and you went to the Western medicine, they're looking at the matter level. Remember we talked about soul, heart, mind, energy, matter? They're looking at dealing with things at the matter level. And but they don't think even for a moment in Western medicine that the liver might be out of harmony, that there could be excess or insufficient energy coming from what's before it, which is the water element or the kidneys. So if the kidneys are weak or overstrong, they can negatively impact the liver. The liver, if weak or overstrong, can negatively impact the heart because the wood feeds the fire. And so a lot of times, like things like congestive heart failure is associated with the liver actually. Western medicine doesn't acknowledge that, Eastern medicine does. So this is examples of harmony and harmonious thinking and harmonious processes in the Eastern philosophies and Eastern traditions. Now let's go back into the harmony. So Master Sha goes on to say that any family needs harmony. There is an ancient statement, Jia He Wang Shi Xing. Jia means family. He means harmonious. Wan means 10,000, which represents countless. Shi means thing, and Xing means flourish. So altogether, it translates to a harmonious family brings flourishing to everything. Every business and every organization need harmony. Harmony is the vital secret for health, relationships, and success in every aspect of life. Next page. For example, for a business to have success, 2 teams are needed, the physical team and the heavens team. Has anyone ever heard of that? Physical team and the heavens team. Most of us are oblivious to that. When there is harmony within the physical team, each department and division has harmony with each other department and division. And all the employees have harmony not only with each other, but also with many qualities of the business, such as the strategic vision, implementation, plans, controls, marketing, and much more. Harmony is the key, the secret wisdom for success in a person or a family, an organization, a business, a society, a city, a country, Mother Earth, and in all countless planets, stars, galaxies, and universes, there's one key, and that is harmony. So here's the mantra. Lu da he xie san ren tong xin qi li duan jin cheng gong mi zhou. And again, what's the translation? The 6th of these greatest qualities is the greatest harmony. Where 3 people join hearts together, their sharpness can cut through gold. The profound secret and key to success. So the only place you'll actually read this is in Master Sha's Wisdom and Teachings. Nowhere else. The reason why you won't find it anywhere else is because this information is flowed. He received these 10 qualities. He received these words to comprehend the depth of the 10 qualities. And of course, you can go much, much deeper. But this is a cursory understanding that as we start to employ this in our life, things could get much, much better. Welcome also to Cheryl. Anyone, if I have not acknowledged, welcome. And if you've come in, please say hi. I'd love to acknowledge you as well. So moving back now, he goes on to say, there is an ancient wisdom, Tian Ren He Yi. Tian means the bigger universe, which is the heavens team. Ren is the small universe, which is your human beings team. He means to join as he, so the word he, actually it's pronounced he, means to join as, and Yi means oneness. Qianren He Yi means heaven's team and a human being's team join as one in greatest harmony. This is the greatest secret for the greatest success. Wonderful. And so I'm going to pause here, and I'm going to queue up the source calligraphy we're going to be working with. We're going to work with one of the 10 calligraphies that Master Sha has made. Again, for those that might be new watching this for the first time, Tao Calligraphy is a form of healing. This book is called Tao Calligraphy, How to Heal the Back. That's what I'm reading from. And yet, any of the calligraphies can serve us. He wrote this one. It's actually on the cover and the back cover. And you can, at home, you can purchase this book, you can connect to it, and then activate the frequency within by tracing it. We're going to do that with this other calligraphy. Tracing is the action of touching all 5 fingers together and then just following the lines as you see them. That's a form of tracing. There's another more advanced version where we use our lower abdomen. Why the lower abdomen? Because this is the storehouse of our life force energy, is in the lower abdomen, often known as the lower dantian. And so when we use the lower abdomen and use it to gather and harness and hold light, that of course serves our life force frequency and vibration. It expands our health and wellness, including longevity, vitality, stamina, and so much more. The Tao calligraphy itself, remember, Tao is a word that means source, and calligraphy is a form of art. So this is a form of source art. And calligraphy carries words. They carry a message. The one behind me that you see here is 4 characters. The top on the, I guess what's that to your left, is Tao. Below it is Da. And then back up again, and then down is Da-I. Tao Da Da-I is the source nourishes greatest love. Okay, so each calligraphy carries a message, including the one that I'm about to put up so that we can interact with it. When this source calligraphy is created, Master Sha, who is one of the most renowned healers on the planet, one of the most renowned spiritual teachers on the planet, this is book number 27, I think, so he's written quite a few books. When he writes a calligraphy, he connects to the source. He connects to the most pure, highest frequency of love and light, and then becomes a conduit or a channel through which that light then goes through the art brush into the black ink and onto the paper. And it resides there, acting as a portal, acting as a medium or a middleman by which that most pure love and light can come to Earth. Because otherwise it just resides outside in the universe. But because of his channel, because of his service to humanity for literally 4 decades, Source provides a massive amount of light, love, and frequency and vibration through him, and that comes into the paper, waiting for you and I to interact with it. If you want to know if a pear is sweet, then you have to taste it. If you want to know if Tao calligraphy can bring healing to you, transformation to you, all you need to do is experience it. As he would say, my report card is my testimonials, literally over 1,000 video testimonials. And you have to see about 10,000 people to get 1,000 video testimonials. So very, very high level of efficacy. All it requires is consistency, a little bit of practice. So let me share screen on that, change the information here. This is the source calligraphy called Da Chen Bei. Da Chen Bei. Let's see if I can. Okay, that's better. So Da Chen Bei translates, as we just described, to the greatest humility. Humility, most people know it as a form of ego, overreaction. I gave you an example earlier. And so what are we going to do? Well, we're going to trace this source calligraphy. I don't have a way to show you to trace it other than my cursor. I'm pretty sure you can see my cursor. And how you do that. You start here and you go around 3 times in this circle. 1, 2, 3. Remember how we're tracing? We're putting our 5 fingers together, touching all 4 fingers and our thumb as one. And after we go around 3 times, we drop in like this. And then we complete this cursive. It looks like an L to me. We come back up to the top, across here, and straight down here, and then loop back up. Drop back down and then back to the right. And this to me looks like kind of an R shape. So we go down and then we create this R shape. Okay. Coming down to the next character, dash down, back up. And this is basically like drawing 3 L's. We come down, there's a little E, back up to the L, and then complete it back down. Now this one, think of it as closing a box. We're going to come down to the bottom, back up, down to the bottom, come into the middle, and just wrap up that box. Okay, so this is the pattern by which we trace it. And we're going to incorporate the 6 power techniques, body power, which is our hand position, that allows the chi to come to us, the healing frequency to come to us. Sound power is mantra. We're going to chant Da Chen Bei, and I will also chant the sacred mantra that we just learned that goes with this. I'll chant it in Mandarin Chinese. And then also we'll do visualization. So as we're tracing, you want to see frequency, light, and love coming to you, clearing blockages in your heart, opening up greater humility, creating fortitude. Because one of the things that happens with greater humility, we have the fortitude to go forward. We let go of the control mechanisms and allow the source to serve us. Okay, and then soul power. I'm going to walk you through connecting to the frequency and vibration within this calligraphy. That's 4. The 5th power is the calligraphy itself, and the 6th power is the breathing. In this case, we're going to breathe naturally. Okay, so let's go ahead and connect. Repeat after me. Dear the soul of this original Master Sha source calligraphy of Da He She, the greatest humility. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to interact with you, to receive the healing frequency and vibration that has been transmitted into you upon your creation. Could you please bless me to release my blockages around ego? Bless me to have patience and tolerance, to not overreact whenever anybody is in my vibrational field, sharing with me, teaching me, telling me things that I might not enjoy. Please bless me to be humble, to not fight, to be like water, and to be the most humble. Thank you. So now we will trace the source calligraphy together, and then I will lead with the mantra Da Chen Bei and greatest humility. And I invite you to sing along if you wish. The song and mantra carry additional vibration. All these 6 powers carry vibration. So let us begin. Da Chen Bei, 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 Da Chen Bei. Greatest humility, 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 greatest humility. Da Chen Bei, Da Chen Bei Da Chen Bei Da Chen Bei. Greatest humility, 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 greatest humility. So silently, continue to trace and continue to silently chant greatest humility, greatest humility, greatest humility. Continue to chant greatest humility. Chi Da, the mantra, Da Chen Bei. Lu Da He She San Ren Tong Xin Qi Li Duan Jin Cheng Gong Mi Zhou. Liu Da He Xie San Ren Tong Xin Qi Li Duan Jin Cheng Gong Mi Jue. Liu Da He Xie San Ren Tong Xin Qi Li Duan Jin Cheng Gong Mi Jue. Liu Da He Xie San Ren Tong Xin Qi Li Duan Jin Cheng Gong Mi Jue. The sixth of the 10 Da qualities is the greatest humility. Continue to trace. Where three gather in harmony, their sword can cut through gold. The greatest secret to success. This is what these 4 lines mean. And so by tracing this source calligraphy, you are releasing the negative information in your vibrational field. There could have been times in this or other time where you or your ancestors were a bit aggressive, a little bit too full of yourself, not too much humility. And maybe because you were so assured of things, maybe you made some mistakes. Possibly people were harmed. Possibly lives were lost. Maybe you had big ego, but you were a big general and you felt you could take out the other side. But as a result, way too many lives were lost. That could create a lot of negative information in your vibrational field. Maybe you were a big spiritual teacher at some point in time. Maybe one of your ancestors was. And that wisdom was incorrectly shared, or there was ego that was gained by being a big spiritual teacher, maybe charging too much or things like that. And then you have some concerns as well, not enough humility. And so this is where some of our past or some of our ancestors' mistakes can create problems for us. Additionally, we may be one of those that does not speak out, one of those that hides and doesn't say anything, even though we know we should say something. That's also a problem with humility. For Therefore, the person that does that is actually hiding. They're not serving. They're not benefiting. They're just stuck in their ego, their protection nature. So there's two sides to the ego. There's the side that is over aggressive and outspoken, and there's the side where they don't say anything and they think they're safe, but people get hurt when they don't say anything. And this also is a form of ego, a form of a blockage. Therefore, the greatest humility can provide great service for anybody with those kinds of conditions. So let's chant 1 or 2 more minutes. Da hu she, da hu she, da hu she, da hu she. Greatest humility, greatest humility, greatest humility, greatest humility. Coming to the end of this source calligraphy, where the stroke ends at the bottom. And there's a spiritual courtesy that you may or may not be familiar with, which is connecting. And we say thank you. Who are we saying thank you to? To the source, to the beings of love and light that are coming to us and helping us to clear the negative information from our vibrational field. That's who we say thank you to. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed today's wisdom and teachings. We got caught up on what's been happening. We talked a little bit about the greatest humility and the greatest harmony. And even though I was chanting greatest humility, I was chanting the Mandarin Chinese words for greatest harmony. I apologize there about that little mix-up. But the Dow Calligraphy we traced was correct for greatest harmony, help clear some of our harmonious blockages. And of course, you can use that to bless relationships. So because this is recorded both on Facebook and YouTube, you're welcome to come back and watch this again and say, please bless my relationship with ABC or with my boss or with my coworker or with my spouse. And just, come back and do it a couple of times. And you can be very amazed at the benefits that it can have for you. Okay. So next Tuesday, I will be here again doing this, and it will be session 17. And you're welcome to catch up on some of the previous ones. At least the first 6 are very important because they set the foundation. So if you're new, make sure you watch the first 6 on either Facebook or YouTube. Feel free to outreach to us at Dow Central Portland. One thing to let everybody know, in case you're not familiar, is tomorrow night and Saturday, Dr. Rulin Xu, who is one of the co-leaders of Dow Central Portland, she's the founder of a foundational series that we offer at the center. And it is called Divine Love. And so for those of you that are not familiar with this Divine Love workshop, it's truly astounding. There are so many people that have written accolades about it. We have plenty of testimonials. And in essence, it helps people to move through the suffering and the traumas associated with relationship or trauma or parental things. We all have that stuck point, right? And that stuck point affects us all negatively. And doesn't allow our heart to open. It doesn't allow us to connect to the source. We try to do everything all by ourselves, and we forget we have a source, we have lots of support, and we're just distant from it. This is heart-related blockages. This is heart chakra message center blockages. And the course on Divine Love, which I'm dropping now into the chat, actually, just a moment. Let's see. Delete that. Let me get the correct one here. There we go. Okay, here's the correct link. Make sure you click on that. So by registering for this 6-week program, This would be multiple hours each week with one of the most advanced teachers in our system, teaching you how to open your heart, teaching you how to release the negative stuff you might have been holding there so long. And it's a lifelong wisdom. It's not one of those short-term things that you sort of apply. It's a permanent form of realigning yourself to the source. I can tell you from experience and from reading all the testimonials that it changes people's lives. And here's the kicker. If you register before tomorrow night, right now as I write this, as I do this, it's the 16th. If you register by Saturday evening, the 18th of June, then you get a special workshop that is the next day for free. So this one starts on the 25th of June, okay? But register by the 18th. This one starts on the 25th. Register by the 18th. And then on the 19th, the following day, we have a special guest, Hui Ling, which is the San Francisco Grand Master, very connected to Kuan Yin, amazing Dow Calligraphy teacher, amazing flow. She talks to Kuan Yin like she was standing next to you and me, and she's teaching on the greatest humility, Kuan Yin's wisdom of the greatest humility. That workshop you get as a gift. It's a $30 workshop. It's 3 hours of her teaching. You get it as a gift if you enroll in the Divine Love. But if you just want to enroll in that one by itself and just come to the Kuan Yin teachings on the nature of the greatest humility, $30 is all that fits in the budget. Then you can click on that link also. I just put it in the chat. And so you have a choice of both. If you register for Divine Love, you get the shorter version free, but either one. Okay? So I cannot say enough good about both of those teachers and both of those sessions. So much value in them. I hope to see you there. Also, make sure and tell your friends. And on a side note, for those familiar with Divine Love, we're offering a very special thing. If you can get other people to enroll in the Divine Love, if you get one person to enroll, you get a $100 financial blessing, a blessing. If you get 3 people to enroll, you get this, what's called a divine egg blessing, which is basically like recreating a part of your life. Normally, that's a $250 blessing. If you get 5 people to enroll, you get a $500 blessing, and 8 people and so forth. So there's this huge free healing that comes with just opening your mouth and saying, you should do this. And I gave you the links. You just pass on those links to others and let them come, and then you get the blessings accordingly, okay? So I want to thank you all for coming. If you still have not hit that share button, hit it, please, for me. Let everybody know about this. If you belong in groups, please share it into groups. I will see you here Tuesday next week. Love you, love you, love you. Make sure you come to the free intro night, Friday night with Lynn. She's talking about Divine Love. If you're new to it, 7 to 9 p.m. at Dow Central Portland. We've got all this stuff plastered all over our social media. You can find those links. Great to see you all. Welcome here, Randy. Love you all. Bye-bye.